You are looking at what might be the absolute cheapest travel destination in the world for 2025. And no, it's not the usual suspects. It's not Thailand. It's not Vietnam. And it's not anywhere in South America. Let's be real. For most of us, the dream of seeing the world feels like it's getting more expensive by the day. It's a quiet frustration that builds over time. You see pictures of distant mountains and turquoise oceans on your phone, and for a second, you let yourself dream. But then reality hits. Every time you check, flight prices have somehow climbed even higher, and hotel costs have gone from expensive to completely crazy. That life-changing trip you keep promising yourself gets pushed back another year, and then another. It's a frustrating cycle, feeling like the world and its wonders are reserved only for the super rich. But what if that was all a lie? What if the problem isn't that travel is inherently too expensive, but that you've just been looking in all the wrong places? What if I told you the cheapest travel destination for 2025 is a tropical paradise, where you can not just get by but actually live an amazing life, on a daily budget of just $15? I'm serious. For the price of a couple of fancy coffees back home, you could have a full 24 hours of adventure. Pase meses enteros sumergido en hojas de cálculo. Pausa. Buscando con pasión el país más económico del mundo para viajar. Pausa corta. Cada dato, cada cifra. Pausa. Me llenaba de emoción y expectativa. I was obsessed. Analyzing prices on everything from a bed for the night to a bottle of water, from the bustling markets of Southeast Asia to the most remote corners of Eastern Europe. And what I found is going to completely change how you think about travel. I searched the entire globe, cross-referencing data and traveler reports to find the single country that consistently came out on top, and the answer is as shocking as it is beautiful. My mission was simple but massive. Find the one country that offered the best possible travel experience for the lowest possible price. This wasn't just about finding a cheap dorm room and surviving on instant noodles. It was about finding a place where you could eat incredible food, have genuine adventures, and immerse yourself in a new culture without your bank account having a panic attack. My checklist was strict and non-negotiable. Accommodation, food, local transport, and activities. The budget had to be ridiculously low. I started where most budget travelers do, Southeast Asia. It's the undisputed king of backpacking for a reason. My first thought was Vietnam. I absolutely love Vietnam. It has an insane, almost mythical natural beauty. From the limestone karsts of Ha Long Bay rising silently from the emerald water, to the breathtaking winding roads of the Ha Giang Loop, the food is legendary. A steaming bowl of pho on a tiny plastic stool on a Hanoi street corner is a life-changing experience that costs almost nothing. You can find a dorm bed for a few bucks, and a delicious banh mi for less than $1. Vietnam is incredibly cheap. But is it the cheapest? When you add up long-distance transport, a tour here and there, and rising entrance fees, a realistic backpacker experience starts to push $30 or $40 a day. A fantastic deal for sure, but it wasn't the number one. So I looked next door at Cambodia. This country understands budget travel on a deep level. You can find 25-cent beers and dorm rooms for just a couple of dollars. There's a raw, untamed energy here that's intoxicating. Seeing the ancient temples of Angkor Wat emerge from the dense jungle at sunrise is a memory that sticks with you forever, a truly spiritual moment. The coast, with islands like Koh Rong, offers that perfect postcard-worthy tropical beach escape. Cambodia is cheap, raw, and achingly beautiful. For many years it probably was the cheapest place to travel. But as more and more tourists discover its magic, prices inevitably creep up, especially around the main attractions. It was a top contender, a very, very close second, but still not the absolute cheapest. My search blew up from there. I looked at the Philippines, an archipelago with over 7,000 islands and some of the most stunning beaches and dive sites on Earth. But hopping between those idyllic islands costs money. Ferries, small planes, and local trikes add up quickly. I jumped continents to Latin America. I deeply researched Bolivia, with its otherworldly salt flats, and Nicaragua, the land of lakes and volcanoes. Both are famously affordable, with cheap street food and beds. But to see the very best sights, you often need to book organized tours, and those costs, while reasonable, push the daily average up. They all came so close, but one place kept beating them in the data over and over again. And that's when I found it. The country that, across every single metric I checked, consistently came out on top. A place often overlooked, tucked away right in the heart of the most popular backpacking region in the world. A landlocked nation that courageously makes up for its lack of a coastline, with a culture and life that revolves around one of the world's most epic rivers. It's a place that several recent studies and travel platforms have pointed to as the cheapest place to travel, with an average daily cost that's genuinely hard to believe. The absolute cheapest travel destination in the world for 2025 is the quiet, beautiful, and completely enchanting country of Laos. Yes, Laos, the country everyone seems to skip in Southeast Asia, sandwiched between its more famous neighbors. It might be the only landlocked country in the area, but it's a world built on water, from the massive, life-giving Mekong River that forms its spine, to the countless turquoise waterfalls and brilliant blue lagoons hidden deep within its lush green mountains. Recent reports from multiple sources have confirmed what I found in my own research. Laos is poised to be the king of budget travel for the next year. A study by the financial platform HelloSafe, which looked at 131 countries, found that the average daily expense for a traveler in Laos is just $15.16. That's not a typo, $15 a day. That number covers your bed, your food, and your local transport. For the price of 2 coffees and a pastry back home, you can spend a whole day exploring a tropical paradise. When I first saw these numbers, I was deeply skeptical. Could it really be that cheap? But what I found is that in Laos, you're not just surviving on that budget. You're getting an experience of incredible beauty, authentic culture, and a profound sense of peace. It's a country that hasn't been totally steamrolled and commercialized by mass tourism yet. It still feels real, authentic, and a little bit wild. So let me break it down for you. Let me show you exactly how you can live your best life in one of the world's cheapest countries on just $15 a day. This isn't a theoretical exercise. This is a real, on-the-ground, practical breakdown of how you can make this happen. First up, your bed, a private paradise for $5.6. The biggest piece of your daily budget is almost always where you sleep, and in Laos, your money goes incredibly far. In the main traveler spots like the beautiful city of Luang Prabang or the adventurous hub of Vang Vieng, you have 2 fantastic choices: social hostels or private guest houses. A dorm bed in a clean, modern, and social hostel will set you back about $5 to $10 a night. But here's where Laos really wins: the value of private rooms. If you're traveling with a friend or partner, you can easily find a clean, charming private room in a family-run guest house for $10 to $15 total. That's as little as $5 per person. I stayed in a guest house in the riverside town of Nong Kiao, where I had my own private bungalow with a hammock overlooking the river for just $8 a night. It felt like a luxury resort, but cost less than a sandwich. These guest houses are the heart and soul of Laotian tourism. They are often run by local families who are genuinely happy to have you. You're not just a room number, you're a guest in their community. For our $15 daily budget, let's lock in $6 for accommodation. That gets you a great dorm bed, or if you're splitting it, half of an awesome private room. Next, food, feasting for $5 a day. If you thought the accommodation was cheap, wait until you hear about the food. You can eat like royalty for under $5 a day. The secret is simple: eat like a local. Street food stalls and bustling night markets are your best friends, offering an incredible variety of delicious meals. A full, satisfying, and delicious meal can cost as little as $1 or $2. For breakfast, grab a Laotian breakfast sandwich, or khao ji. Thanks to its French colonial past, Laos has amazing baguettes, and you'll find stalls everywhere stuffing them with pâté, fresh vegetables, and chili sauce for about $1. For lunch, find a local spot and get a bowl of khao piak sen. It's Laos's quintessential version of chicken noodle soup, a rich aromatic broth with thick handmade tapioca noodles, tender chicken, and a pile of fresh herbs on top. You'll find it everywhere for around $1.50. For dinner, the best experience is to hit the night market. The Luang Prabang night market has a legendary vegetarian buffet. For about $1.50, you get a bowl to fill with as much as you can from a huge table laden with noodles, rice, stir-fried vegetables, crispy spring rolls, and more. It's a genuine all-you-can-eat feast for the price of a candy bar. And, to drink, a large bottle of beer lao, celebrated as one of the best beers in Southeast Asia, costs about $1. A fresh, vibrant fruit shake is also around $1. Let's add it up. A baguette for breakfast, $1, noodle soup for lunch, $1.50, and a giant buffet dinner, $1.50, brings your food total to just $4. That leaves $1 for a beer or a shake. We'll set our food budget at a very comfortable $5 per day. Finally, adventure and transport for $4 a day. So far, we've spent $11 of our $15 daily budget. That leaves us with a solid $4 for getting around and actually doing things. You might think that's not nearly enough, but in Laos, $4 is your ticket to unforgettable adventure. Many of the very best experiences are free or incredibly cheap. Watching the serene morning almsgiving ceremony in Luang Prabang, where monks collect offerings at dawn, costs nothing to observe from a respectful distance. Hiking Mount Pusi for a breathtaking 360-degree sunset view over the Mekong and the surrounding temples costs about $2. But the real key to unlocking Laos is renting a scooter, which typically costs between $7 and $14 for a full day. Let's say you get one for $8. If you're with a travel buddy, that's just $4 each. This machine is now your transport and your activity for the day. With your scooter, you can drive to the famous Kwangsi Falls. The entrance fee is small, around $2.70. You can spend an entire day swimming in the stunning, tiered turquoise pools. In Vang Vieng, you can use your scooter to explore the incredible landscape of limestone mountains for free, find hidden blue lagoons to swim in for a $1 entrance fee, or go tubing down the Nam Song River for about $3. So, on a typical day, your $4 adventure budget easily covers half a scooter rental, giving you a full day of absolute freedom. Our grand total, $6 for accommodation, plus $5 for food, plus $4 for activities equals $15 per day. It's not just possible, it's an incredible way to travel. The honest truth. I know what you're thinking. $1.15 a day tropical paradise sounds a little too good to be true. So let's be completely honest about the challenges. Laos is not a perfectly polished, 5-star resort. It's a developing country, and that comes with some realities you absolutely need to be aware of. First, the infrastructure can be a challenge. Roads, especially in more rural areas, can be rough and unpaved. Bus journeys are slow, winding, and often bumpy. This can be part of the adventure, offering stunning views of the countryside, but if you're short on time or patience, it can be tough. Also, the internet can be slow and spotty outside of the main towns. Don't expect to be streaming 4K video from a remote village. Think of it as a forced and probably much-needed digital detox. Health and safety are also key. Be diligent with insect repellent to protect against mosquito-borne illnesses. Always stick to bottled or filtered water and eat at popular street food stalls where you can see the food being cooked fresh in front of you. High turnover means fresher ingredients. Crime against tourists is very low, but as anywhere, be smart about your belongings in crowded markets and on buses. Finally, and this is extremely serious, Laos is, per capita, the most heavily bombed country in the history of the world. There is a very real and persistent danger from unexploded ordnance, UXO, in many rural areas, a tragic legacy of past conflicts. It is absolutely critical to stick to marked paths and trails, especially when hiking, and to never wander into fields, rice paddies, or forests. As long as you follow this single simple rule, you will be safe. So no, Laos isn't perfect. It takes a bit more patience and a more adventurous spirit than some other destinations. But those rough edges are a core part of its charm. They're what have kept it from becoming another overcrowded, overpriced tourist factory. It's a real place, with a powerful history, and that makes the profound beauty and peace you find there even more rewarding. So there you have it, Laos, a country that definitively proves you don't need to be rich to see the world. It proves that sometimes the most authentic and memorable travel experiences are the ones that cost the least. Travel was never meant to be about 5-star hotels and exclusive resorts. It's about connection. It's about seeing the world and yourself from a different perspective. It's the quiet, simple moments like watching the sunset over the mighty Mekong or feeling the cool, refreshing water of a hidden waterfall. In Laos, these priceless moments are available to everyone, no matter the size of their budget. The world is huge, beautiful, and so much more accessible than you think. So my question to you is, what are you waiting for? If you think I missed a cheaper spot, or if you have your own budget secrets for traveling in Laos, drop them in the comments below. I read every single one. This community is all about helping each other travel smarter and go further. And if this has inspired you to think differently about what's possible, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I have so many more secrets to share, and I don't want you to miss out on the next adventure. Thanks for watching. Now go book that ticket. Adventure is out there.